Ever wonder why so many small business dreams stall out before they even start? Well, setting up an LLC in Denver, it should feel exciting, not stressful. But if you miss just one step, it can actually put your finances and privacy on the line. So today, I'll show you the exact moves to launch your Denver LLC smoothly and reveal the biggest mistake that new owners make right after filing. So stick around to avoid the trap that almost everyone falls for. But first here, let's examine if Denver is a good place to open an LLC in the first place. The truth is, Denver, it sets a stage for a lot of success with its booming economy and massive support network. In fact, nearly 70% of new companies statewide start as LLCs. Now, forming an LLC here means low upfront costs, just $50, and a super simple online filing process. And what's better is that Denver offers strong personal asset protection and lets owners avoid double taxation by passing profits straight to their tax returns. So if you want flexibility, financial safety, and a startup-friendly community, Denver is hard to beat. So next, let's talk about picking your Denver LLC's name. And there are a few hoops to jump through, but before we jump in too deep here, one thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, it should be exciting, not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get confusing fast, with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I will walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels confusing, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way, go ahead and click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to naming your LLC here. So Colorado's got a few rules. So your business name, it has to be unique across the entire state. So a quick search on the Colorado Secretary of State's database is a must before falling in love with a name. And by the way, you can find a link for that below, along with every other resource that we mentioned in this video. Now, know that you'll also need to include LLC or a similar entity identifier at the end, like LLC or Limited Liability Co. And certain terms, like ones that make you sound like a government agency or restricted professions, are off limits unless you're actually licensed in those fields. Now, if you found the perfect name, but you're not quite ready to launch, no worries there. You can reserve a business name for 120 days while you finalize everything else that you got to do, which is perfect, again, if you want to lock down that killer idea ahead of filing. Now next, let's tackle how picking a registered agent in Denver is much more important than most people realize. Every Denver LLC needs to list a registered agent, which is basically someone who acts as your official point of contact in Colorado for all things legal and government related. Now, you can technically be your own agent, but that means that your personal information goes on the public record, and you have to be available at that address during normal business hours every workday, no matter what. And if you ever miss an important document, your business could lose good standing, rack up fines, or even get dissolved. Now, lots of folks, they start out wanting to save money and do it themselves, and then they realize that being their own agent, it really brings way more headaches than expected, especially if they value privacy or travel frequently. That's why so many LLC owners, they prefer professional registered agent services. Now, personally, my preferred provider is Northwest Registered Agent. I've used them myself, and they're known for their strong privacy protections, excellent customer support, and straightforward pricing. Now, if you hire them to help form your LLC, the cost is only $39, and that's lower than a lot of competitors. Plus, you can use their business address on your public filings, which keeps your home address private and cuts down on all the spam mail. So if you want to go ahead and check them out, go ahead and click right up here to learn more. All right, so from here, are you ready to make it official with the state? Well, next up, we'll walk through filing your articles of organization and turning that LLC dream into a reality. Time to make your business official, right? So filing your articles of organization is basically registering your LLC with the state. And Colorado makes it super simple and affordable by doing everything online. The filing fee is just $50, and you'll need to list your company name, your main business address, your registered agent's details, and whether your LLC is managed by its members or by an outside manager. And also double check everything, because whatever you enter here becomes public record, and mistakes can cause really annoying delays later. Now, once you hit submit, you're usually approved pretty quickly, sometimes within a day, so you can get your LLC up and running with hardly any red tape. Now, the real win here is that after this step, your business has its own legal identity, making it official and unlocking all those asset protections that we all want with an LLC. Now, next, let's talk about something that most new owners skip, but absolutely shouldn't, which is the operating agreement. Colorado does not require an operating agreement, but skipping it can cause headaches later on. Now, this document is the rule book for your LLC. It clarifies who owns what, how decisions get made, and what happens if someone leaves or if your business faces disputes. Think of it as your safety net to prevent confusion and protect your legal separation from the business. Now, the best part here is that you don't need to be a lawyer to draft one either. So plenty of online templates exist, and they make creating an operating agreement super easy. You can also use AI platforms that will guide you through, customizing your agreement to fit exactly what you need for your business. Either way, having this document signed and saved with your records, it is a smart move before you move forward. Now, from here, we want to make sure that we get everything settled with the IRS and taxes and things like that. And that is where the EIN comes in. So let's talk about that. Getting an EIN, or short for Employer Identification Number, is what gives your business a distinct federal tax ID. It's basically the business's social security number. And even if you're running solo, you'll need one for opening a business bank account, hiring employees, or handling taxes. Now, the best part, it's fast, easy, and totally free. Just head to the IRS website, fill out the online application, and you'll have your EIN in about 15 minutes tops. Just make sure that your LLC is officially formed before you actually apply so that the IRS can kind of link everything correctly. Now, once that's done, you're set to open a business bank account and tackle all things that are tax related. Now, next up here, let's talk about how to keep your LLC in good standing in Denver year after year. Once your Denver LLC is up and running, you've got to stay on top of some key compliance tasks to keep your business in good standing. Now, the biggest one is filing a periodic report with the Colorado Secretary of State every year. Now, this report updates the state on your LLC's address, owners, registered agent, and other details. Colorado gives you a 5-month window to file, centered on your LLC's anniversary month, and the fee is a very reasonable $25. Now, missing this deadline can cost you a $50 late fee that will kick in, and if you wait too long, 60 days past the deadline, your LLC can actually be marked as delinquent, risking suspension or even dissolution. Now, besides that, depending on your business type and location, Denver may require local permits or licenses too. This could include, health permits, sales tax licenses, or professional licenses. It's a good idea to check with Denver's city government to make sure that you're covered with whatever business you're doing. Now, keeping these in check, that means that you avoid fines and you can protect your hard work. So next, let's break down the costs that you're looking at up front and annually to keep your Denver LLC thriving. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and begin with the initial startup costs for the first year. So first, your articles of organization, $50 that is required. A one-time fee that is the state filing fee to officially register your LLC. Next is getting a professional registered agent service. Now, this is optional but highly recommended. Northwest Registered Agent, they charge $39 for the first year, which includes help with setting up your LLC formation, but also 1 year of free registered agent service as well. Then we have a business name reservation, which is $25. This is optional, but if you want to reserve your business name before you file all the paperwork, you can get that. And then local business licenses or permits, just depends, $0 to like $400. It really, costs and requirements here. They depend on your industry and the city of Denver itself and what your business is. But some common state licenses, like the sales tax license, that range from like $5 to $15. And then other Denver licenses, $100 to $300. It just depends. So your estimated startup cost in the first year, most owners, they'll pay probably between like $50 to right around $400 in most cases, all in. Okay, so now your ongoing annual costs. So your periodic report fee is $25 per year. That is required. All Colorado LLCs must file this annual report to stay in good standing. Then the registered agent service renewal. So if you use Northwest Registered Agent, it is $125 per year. Then your business license or permit renewals, that's $0 to about $400 per year. And again, that really depends on your location and what line of business you're in. And now the estimated annual ongoing cost, most Denver LLCs, they'll spend between $25 all the way up to about $450 per year. And again, this heavily depends on the permits and licenses that you need for your business. Now, again, to help with this, I do advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which you can click right up here to check out, as they'll help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about the process, no problem at all. Just drop me a comment below and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.